The ambush lasted 4 seconds before Vexhal realized they'd made a catastrophic tactical error. The human wasn't screaming because she was afraid. Station security to command. We have a code violet in Maintenance Corridor 7 Delta. Krill transmitted from the observation deck, his 3 eyes locked on the security feeds. Requesting immediate authorization for escalated force protocols. Denied, came Thyvan's response through the comm. Hold position and contain only. I'm reviewing the feed now. Below, in the dimly lit corridor, Emma stood with her back to a bulkhead, surrounded by Vexhal's enforcement pack. She looked tired, annoyed, but not remotely afraid, and that wrongness sent alarm pheromones rippling through Vexhal's sensory organs. Really? Emma said, her voice flat with exhaustion. Now? It's 3 in the morning station time. I have a shift in 4 hours, and I just needed to check the cargo manifests because someone, she gestured vaguely, misfiled the Antares shipment codes. Vexhal expanded his threat display, dorsal spines rising to their full impressive height. Standard territorial enforcement protocol. Every species understood this language. Leave or face consequences. You are in violation of restricted access regulations. Unauthorized presence during mandatory rest cycle. You will submit to escort immediately. Emma yawned. Mid-threat, she yawned. Look, I get that there are rules, but I signed out the access codes from Delta Shift Supervisor. This is literally my job. I handle cargo. Cargo that lives in corridors exactly like this one. Vexhal moved closer. Pack members tightening the formation. Textbook intimidation. The human should be triggering fear paralysis responses by now, should be making submission gestures, should be. Emma sighed and shifted her weight. And something in that movement made every predatory instinct Vexhal had evolved scream wrong. I'm going to need you to back up, Emma said, still sounding mostly annoyed. You're in my personal space and I don't like being crowded. You are not in a position to make demands, Deathworlder. Okay, wow. Emma's eyes narrowed. Was that really necessary? I'm a cargo handler. I literally move boxes for a living. Vexhal lunged. A controlled strike meant to force submission posture. Standard enforcement technique. Non-lethal. Used it 1,000 times. Emma moved wrong. Not fast. Not slow. Wrong. Her body shifted in directions that violated Vexhal's understanding of prey species biomechanics. His strike met empty air, and then the corridor wall met his face with enough force to crack the impact-resistant polymer. The station's emergency alarm hadn't even finished its first wail. Oh no, Emma said, hands up, backing away from Vexhal's crumpled form. Oh no, I didn't mean you lunged at me. 2 more enforcers rushed her. They went down before Krill could track the movements on screen. Command? Authorization for lethal force? Krill's voice, pitched into panic frequencies. We have a Deathworlder in active combat status. Negative. Thyvan was already running toward the corridor. Full station lockdown. Seal that section. Get medical to... They stopped, watching their command screen as Emma stood in the center of the corridor, 3 unconscious enforcers around her, looking confused and distressed. I'm sorry, Emma called out to no one in particular. You attacked me. What was I supposed to do? Krill pulled up the bio readouts. Human heart rate, elevated but not extreme. Respiration, steady. Chemical analysis, adrenaline present but controlled. This wasn't a Deathworlder in kill frenzy. This was a Deathworlder who'd barely noticed she'd neutralized 3 trained security enforcers. Thyvan, Krill transmitted on secure channel. The human integration protocols, they're insufficient, catastrophically insufficient. Through the command feed, Thyvan watched Emma try to check on Vexhall, saw her hesitate, clearly not knowing how to help without potentially causing more damage. The human was genuinely distressed about defending herself. "How many enforcers in that section?" Thyvan asked. "We're 7. 3 incapacitated. 4 retreating to defensive positions." "Casualties?" "Blunt force trauma, possible fractures, unconscious but stable. Medical is en route but won't approach until the human is contained." "Contained." Thyvan watched Emma pace the corridor, running hands through her hair, muttering to herself. "Krill, pull up her file. Full background. I want to know everything about Earth integration protocols." The data scrolled across Thyvan's vision. Emma Torres, 26 standard years. Cargo logistics specialist. 2 years on station. Perfect work record. 0 disciplinary incidents. Multiple commendations for efficiency and cooperation. Also, origin planet classified as Class 12 Deathworld. Gravity, 1.3 standard. Atmosphere, oxidizing corrosive mixture. Native predator count, extreme. Evolution category, persistence hunter apex predator with advanced social cooperation. "By the ancestors," Thyvan breathed. "We put an apex predator in the cargo bay and thought calling her logistics specialist would make her safe." "Commander, what are your orders?" Thyvan watched as 4 more enforcers attempted a coordinated stun weapon approach. Emma dodged 3 shots while asking, "Can we please just talk about this? I have to be up in 4 hours and I really need sleep." The 4th shot hit her center mass. Emma stumbled, looked down at the impact site, then back up at the enforcers. "Did you just shoot me?" "She's still conscious," Krill whispered. "Stun weapons don't work on humans." Emma pulled the stun disc off her shirt and examined it. "This is set to... Wait, this is set to lethal for most species, isn't it? You guys actually tried to kill me." She sounded hurt, betrayed, not angry, hurt. "All units fall back," Thyvan commanded. "I'm contacting Alliance High Command. We have a situation that exceeds station-level authority." In the corridor, Emma sat down heavily against the wall, looking at the unconscious enforcers around her. "I just wanted to fix the cargo codes," she said to the empty air. "Is that really worth all this?" Thyvan activated the priority channel. "This is Station Commander Thyvan requesting emergency diplomatic intervention. Subject: inadequate Deathworlder integration protocols resulting in mutual defensive engagement. Situation critical. Human subject neutralized security team while expressing confusion about appropriate response. Repeat. We need immediate guidance on Deathworlder containment that doesn't constitute an act of war." The response came back within seconds. "Stand by. Full crisis team deploying." Through the cameras, Thyvan watched Emma check her chronometer, groan, and let her head fall back against the wall. The human looked exhausted, confused, and completely unaware that she'd just triggered an Alliance-level diplomatic incident. 7 trained security enforcers. 4 seconds. 1 tired human who just wanted to fix paperwork. Thyvan pulled up the full Earth integration database and started reading, knowing already what they'd find. Every protocol, every safety measure, every risk assessment had been catastrophically, dangerously wrong. The humans weren't just strong. They were weapons that didn't know they were armed. Thyvan arrived at the sealed corridor entrance with a medical team, a diplomatic liaison, and a growing sense that every assumption about human integration had been lethally optimistic. "Commander, we've deployed chemical deterrents," Krill reported. "Standard nerve agent formula. Should induce temporary paralysis without..." Through the feed, they watched Emma sneeze. Twice, then rub her nose irritably. "Without permanent harm," Krill finished weakly. Are you seriously using chemical weapons on me? Emma's voice carried through the comm system, more incredulous than afraid. I have allergies. This is like industrial-strength pepper spray or something. Thyvin pulled up the chemical composition. The deterrent would drop a Vorgath combat specialist in 3 seconds. Emma was complaining about sinus irritation. Her mucous membranes are filtering neurotoxins, the medical specialist whispered, mandibles clicking in distress. That shouldn't be biologically possible. Everything about humans shouldn't be biologically possible, Thyvin muttered. Open a communication channel. Direct. The panel activated. Emma's face appeared, eyes watering slightly, looking annoyed and exhausted in equal measure. Emma, this is Station Commander Thyvin. I need you to understand. Oh, good. Someone in charge. Emma wiped her eyes. Look, I know this looks bad, but they literally attacked me first. I signed out proper authorization codes. I have them on my datapad. Delta Shift Supervisor knows I'm here. This is just a massive misunderstanding. You injured 7 security enforcers. They cornered me in a dark corridor and lunged at me. What was I supposed to do? Let them hit me? Emma gestured helplessly. I was defending myself. You don't corner someone at 3 in the morning and expect them not to react. Krill pulled up threat assessment data, watching the numbers climb into red zones. Commander, her reaction speed exceeds anything in our combat database. She's moving faster than our targeting systems can track. I wasn't moving that fast, Emma protested, clearly hearing the conversation. I was half asleep. You all were just moving really slowly. No offense. No offense. Vexhal's voice crackled through medical bay comms. He was conscious again, though barely. You fractured my skull casing. You lunged at my face. Emma shot back. On Earth, that's literally how you start a fight to the death. I pulled back as soon as I realized you went down. Thyvin watched the security footage again, frame by frame. Emma wasn't lying. Every strike had been controlled, redirective. She'd used minimal force for maximum effect. The human had been restraining herself. By the ancestors, Thyvin breathed. She was holding back. Commander, the diplomatic liaison interjected. Alliance High Command is requesting full situational brief. They're concerned about the implications. The implications, Thyvin repeated, watching Emma try unsuccessfully to wipe chemical deterrent off her face, are that we've integrated apex predators into civilian operations without understanding what that means. Emma tried the door panel. It didn't budge. She examined it for a moment, then gripped the manual override handle. Emma, don't... Thyvin started. The handle, rated to withstand 3,000 kilograms of force, bent. Emma looked at it in horror. I barely touched it. What is this thing made of? Aluminum foil? Industrial-grade titanium composite, Krill whispered. Emma let go of the destroyed handle like it had burned her. Okay, I'm just going to sit down now. Over here, away from anything breakable. She slid down the wall, carefully, like every movement might shatter reality. Can someone please just explain what's happening? Why is everything so fragile? Why did your security people try to intimidate me in a dark corridor? Why are your stun weapons set to lethal? I'm so confused. Thyvin looked at the diplomatic liaison. Tell High Command, we need complete Deathworlder protocol revision, station-wide, alliance-wide. We don't have containment procedures for humans. We have escalation scenarios. What should we do about Emma? Thyvin watched the human sit in the corner, carefully not touching anything, looking lost and tired and genuinely apologetic. We talked to her, Thyvin said, like she asked us to do 20 minutes ago. Thyvin entered the corridor alone, against every tactical recommendation Krill had screamed through the comm. The human looked up, eyes red from chemical irritation. And for a moment, Thyvin saw something that made their blood chill. Recognition. Emma knew exactly how dangerous the situation was. She just didn't know why. "Commander," Emma said quietly, "I really didn't mean for any of this to happen." "I know." Thyvin sat down, carefully maintaining distance. "Emma, I need you to understand something. Vexhal's territorial display, what he did when he expanded his spines, on his world, among his people, that's a non-lethal enforcement technique. It means leave or be escorted, not prepare to fight." Emma blinked. Oh no. She covered her face with her hands. On Earth, when something makes itself bigger and gets in your face in a dark enclosed space, that means it's about to attack you. That's literally every predator threat display in our entire evolutionary history. You thought he was preparing to kill you. I thought he was giving me 1 second to react before he went for my throat, yeah. Emma's voice cracked. I didn't want to hurt him. Instinct took over. Fight or flight, and there was nowhere to run. Krill's voice filtered through Thyvin's earpiece. "Commander, her stress hormones are spiking. Cortisol, adrenaline, she's experiencing distress." "Emma," Thyvin asked carefully, "what do you know about your planet's classification?" "Class 12 Deathworld, right? High gravity, aggressive ecosystem, lots of large predators." Emma shrugged. "I mean, it's just Earth. We have cities and agriculture and art museums. It's not like we're running from lions every day." "Lions? Apex predators. 300 kilograms, cooperative hunters, can sprint at 80 kilometers per hour." Emma paused. "We domesticated smaller versions of them as companions. We call them cats." Thyvin tried to process that. Failed. "You domesticated predators." "Well, yeah. Also wolves. They're pack hunters with incredible endurance and bite force. We call them dogs now. They sleep in our beds." Emma tilted her head. "Wait, do you not have companion animals on your worlds?" "We have herbivores, small ones, that don't have teeth." "Huh." Emma looked genuinely confused. "That sounds kind of boring, no offense." Krill broke in on the command channel. "Commander, Alliance High Command wants to know why you're conducting xenopsychology analysis instead of securing the situation." "Because," Thyvin said aloud, not caring that Emma could hear, "the situation can't be secured. It can only be understood." Emma leaned forward. "Can I ask you something? Why is everything here so fragile?" "That door handle was supposed to be secure, right? But it bent like plastic. And the stun weapons, you called them non-lethal, but they read as lethal on my datapad safety scanner." "They are non-lethal," Thyvin said, "for 97% of known species. But not for humans. Emma, your heart has 4 chambers and redundant circulation. You have a backup system for your backup system. Most species black out from pain that you would describe as annoying. Your bones are designed to withstand forces that would shatter ours. You're built to survive on a planet actively trying to kill you every single day. And you think of it as just Earth." Emma sat very still. "So, when you saw me walking alone in a dark corridor, we saw an apex predator in our territory, and we responded with techniques designed for prey species and mid-tier predators." "And I responded," Emma whispered, "like an apex predator being cornered." "Yes. I could have killed them, all of them, if I hadn't pulled back." "Yes." Emma wrapped her arms around her knees. I'm never going to be able to walk around this station normally again, am I? Everyone's going to be afraid of me. Thyvan watched the human make herself small, trying to be less threatening through pure body language. An apex predator engaging in voluntary submission displays. No, Thyvan said. But everyone's going to understand you better, starting with us. The Alliance High Command conference call materialized in holographic form around the corridor. 7 species representatives, all watching Emma with varying degrees of alarm. Commander Thyvan, the assembly lead began, explain how a Class 12 Deathworlder was cleared for civilian station operations. Because I applied for the job and passed the background check, Emma offered, raising her hand slightly. I have a degree in logistics management. I'm good at organizing cargo containers. The holographic representatives exchanged glances. One of them, a methane breather in an environment suit, spoke up. You understand that your planet produces soldiers we classify as catastrophic level threats? Your species wages war with the efficiency that terrifies the entire Alliance. I'm not a soldier, Emma said firmly. I move boxes. I file manifests. I make sure the right cargo gets to the right destination. That's literally all I do. You neutralized 7 trained security personnel in 4 seconds. Another representative countered. They attacked me. Emma's voice rose, frustration finally breaking through. What was I supposed to do? Let them hit me? I have a right to defend myself. On Earth, what they did is called assault, and I would have been legally justified in defending myself even more aggressively than I did. Thyvan watched the representatives process that. The concept seemed to genuinely shock them. You have legal frameworks for violence? Someone asked. Emma laughed, slightly hysterical. We have legal frameworks for everything except violence as a first resort. That's the whole point of civilization. We built entire systems of laws and social contracts specifically because we're dangerous and we know it. Krill pulled up Earth's database in real time, scanning through information. Commander, she's right. Human civilization is structured around conflict avoidance. Their legal systems, their social norms, their cultural expectations, all designed to prevent combat between humans. Because when humans fight each other, Emma said quietly, people die. We know what we're capable of. We've always known. So we built societies that reward cooperation and punish aggression. We teach children from the age of 2 not to hit. We have entire philosophical frameworks about proportional response and necessary force. She stood up slowly, carefully. You all look at me and see an apex predator. You're not wrong. But you're missing the other half. We're apex predators who evolved cooperation as our primary survival strategy. We hunt in packs. We share resources. We protect our group members, even at cost to ourselves. The injured security personnel, Thyvan said suddenly. You tried to check on them afterward. Of course I did. I didn't want to hurt them. Emma's voice cracked. I just wanted them to stop attacking me. The second they went down, my first instinct was to make sure they were okay. Vexhal's voice came through the medical channel, weak but clear. She pulled back. I remember now. She could have struck again. I was defenseless. She stopped. The Alliance representatives fell silent, processing. So, the assembly lead said slowly, humans are weapons that choose not to fire. We're people, Emma corrected, exhausted. We're just people who happen to come from a really dangerous planet. We want the same things everyone wants: safety, purpose, community. We just have to work harder not to accidentally break things while we're getting them. Thyvan stood. Alliance Command, I recommend immediate protocol revision. not containment, education. We need to teach both humans and non-humans how to coexist safely. This incident occurred because of ignorance on both sides. And the human. Thyvan looked at Emma. She defended herself within the parameters her species considers appropriate. The fault was ours for using threat displays she's evolutionarily programmed to interpret as lethal intent. I'm really sorry about your enforcers, Emma added. Seriously, I'll cover medical costs if I can. I just want to go back to work. The assembly lead's expression, difficult to read on their species, might have been respect. Motion to clear Emma of wrongdoing and implement comprehensive Deathworlder integration protocols. All in favor? The vote was unanimous. 3 days later, Emma stood in front of the assembled security department, datapad in hand, trying not to laugh at how carefully everyone was maintaining distance. Okay, so, she began, pulling up a diagram. This is what a human threat display actually looks like. Raised voice, aggressive posture, invasion of personal space, direct eye contact. If you see a human doing this, they're warning you to back off. It's the step before actual violence, not the violence itself. Vex hull, skull casing bandaged but healing, raised a claw. And what did you call it? The smile. Bared teeth can mean different things depending on context. Emma demonstrated. This is a smile, friendly, relaxed. This, she changed her expression slightly, is a threat display. See the difference? Friendly smile shows teeth, but the eyes are soft. Threat display, the eyes are hard and the jaw is tense. They look identical, someone muttered. Yeah, we have that problem with other species too. That's why verbal communication is really important. Emma advanced to the next slide. Now, about cornering someone in a dark, enclosed space. Catastrophic tactical error. Krill interrupted. We've updated all protocols. No enclosed space confrontations with humans. All enforcement actions require multiple exits and clear verbal warnings. Good. Emma nodded. Because I really don't want to accidentally put anyone else in medical. Thyvan watched from the back of the room, reviewing the station-wide updates. New signage in all corridors. Deathworlder aware zone, verbal communication required. Adjusted door handles rated for human grip strength. Recalibrated stun weapons with species-specific settings. Emergency protocols that accounted for human defensive reflexes. The training session continued for another hour. By the end, security personnel were practicing verbal engagement protocols and human-specific de-escalation techniques. Emma answered questions with patience and humor, somehow making the entire department comfortable with the fact that she could break them all without trying. Afterward, Thyvan found her in the corridor, reviewing her datapad. Back to cargo manifests? They asked. Someone has to fix that Antares shipment code. Emma grinned. Still never got to finish what I started. The Alliance wants to offer you a position. Official Deathworlder integration specialist. Better pay, better hours. Emma considered it. Do I still get to organize cargo containers? Probably not. Then no thanks. She started walking toward the cargo bay, then paused. But I'll consult on my off hours. Someone should probably teach people about humans before more misunderstandings happen. Thyvan watched her go, comfortable and casual, deadly force wrapped in a cargo handler's jumpsuit. Behind them, Krill approached. She really just wants to move boxes, Krill said, wonder in his voice. Yes. An apex predator who chooses logistics management as a career. Humans, Thyvan said, are the most terrifying species in the Alliance precisely because they don't want to be terrifying. In the cargo bay, Emma hummed to herself while correcting manifest codes, completely unaware that she'd changed Alliance protocol forever. Her datapad chimed, a message from another human crew member on a different station. "Heard you had an interesting night shift. Buy you coffee later?" Emma typed back, "You have no idea. Yes to coffee." Somewhere in Alliance space, other stations were receiving updated guidelines. New training programs were being developed. First contact protocols were being rewritten. The galaxy was adapting to the reality of Deathworlders who chose peace but could deliver devastation. And in medical, Vexhall was reading a book about Earth, learning about a planet so dangerous that its inhabitants had to invent civilization just to survive each other. Emma just wanted to finish her paperwork and maybe grab breakfast before her next shift. The ambush had lasted 4 seconds. The paradigm shift would last forever. 6 months later, the incident was taught in every Alliance Security Academy as the Corridor Incident, a case study in catastrophic cultural misunderstanding. Emma became the unintentional face of human integration, conducting training sessions between cargo shifts. She approached it the same way she approached logistics: organized, efficient, slightly annoyed at the inefficiency of it all. Vexhall made a full recovery and personally requested assignment to human interaction protocols. He and Emma occasionally had lunch together, carefully seated at tables with multiple exits. They joke about it now, how 4 seconds had changed everything. The station installed special equipment rated for human strength. Security learned that please and explain worked better than intimidation. Humans learned which gestures meant threat versus greeting in 14 different languages. Alliance protocols expanded to include 73 new species classifications, all Deathworlds, all producing beings who were dangerous but chose cooperation. Emma still worked in cargo, still fixed manifest errors, still hummed while organizing containers. But now, when she walked through corridors after lights out, people nodded respectfully instead of challenging her presence. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. The most dangerous predators are the ones who built civilization specifically to avoid being dangerous. Emma just wanted people to file their paperwork correctly.